Here we go again. 49 days ago, I stood in this street as a new Prime Minister ascended to office. In roughly the space of a star sign or so, we've got another one.
Good morning. I've just been to Buckingham Palace and accepted His Majesty the King's invitation to form a government.
What we're going to tell you is what Rishi Sunak was trying to do, what he was really trying to say, what his premiership really means. And it started, extraordinarily, more or less, with an attack on his predecessor.
I admired her restlessness to create change. But some mistakes were made.
All the more remarkable when you consider that Truss had walked out only an hour or so before without any contrition, any acknowledgement of what had led her there.
We simply cannot afford to be a low-growth country where the government takes up an increasing share of our national wealth.
But the thing is, how much this helps him. Sunak's aim with this speech was to paint a picture of all which had happened in these last 7 weeks as a sort of fever dream. Every unpopular thing he's going to try and do, implicitly or otherwise, he will blame on her and her ill-starred premiership as having to do it because of the mistake made in not choosing him the first time round. And he thinks he can do this because he was so associated in the public's mind with saying how disastrous it would be.
So the thing that anyone who wants this job or is thinking about running our economy needs to be cognizant of is that their economic plan, their plan for our borrowing and spending, is one which will continue to command the confidence of the market.
But he wasn't done with his predecessors.
I will always be grateful to Boris Johnson for his incredible achievements as Prime Minister. He would agree that the mandate my party earned in 2019 is not the sole property of any one individual. It is a mandate that belongs to and unites all of us.
Johnson almost certainly would not agree, but it said much that Sunak felt the need to try and explain himself, why he was there. He was trying to say to the country, the third PM in the space of 7 weeks, that he was not illegitimate. We also know from what he said that politics is going to feel very 2010.
I will place economic stability and confidence at the heart of this government's agenda. This will mean difficult decisions to come.
In other words, the return of austerity, the dominant theme of politics to come. Because Rishi Sunak isn't what you think he might be.
There is this talk that Rishi Sunak is going to be a grown-up in the room, that he marks the return of the grown-ups, and maybe that theory will turn out to be vindicated. Maybe he will be. But what is completely wrong is any sort of idea that Rishi Sunak is on the left of the Conservative Party. Wrong, wrong, wrong. In many ways, he's on its right. He's a George Osborneite, fiscal conservative in tooth and claw. He is someone who probably agrees with many of Liz Truss's ideas on low tax, on deregulation. He would just disagree about the speed with which to get there. He's an ardent Brexiter. He's agreed with some of the more hardline social policies, for example, on the Rwanda deportation flights. He may in many ways look and sound as if he's from the party's establishment, and he is. But in many ways as well, he's far off the historic centre of our politics.
The other remarkable thing is seeing a non-white face making this speech, a moment of power and symbolism. But Rishi Sunak is nothing if not a man of contradiction, a product of the British or English establishment. Could be harder in some ways to find. The man, like his speech, an intriguing balance of a deep continuity shrouded in change.
The Newsagents. This is a Global Player original podcast.